Someone you completely trusted just walked away from you without warning. No explanation, just silence. And now you're sitting there alone, replaying every single moment, wondering what you did wrong. You're thinking about texting them. You're thinking about explaining yourself. You're even thinking about chasing them just to feel less invisible. But what if that desperate urge, that raw need to be seen and chosen, is exactly what's destroying your power from the inside? What if the way you react when someone ignores you is the real test of your character? Not the rejection itself, not the silence, but your response to it. Most people fail this test every single day without even realizing it. And today, that changes forever. Welcome to Anonymous Achiever, the channel built for those who choose to grow in silence, not in applause. No drama, no noise. Just pure mental strength, stoic wisdom, and the kind of psychological truth that most people are too afraid to face. If you're here, you're already different. Now let's give you the powerful tools to prove it. Here's what no one tells you about being ignored. It's not just painful, it's designed to break you. The moment someone walks away or goes silent, your brain enters survival mode. It starts searching for answers. It starts manufacturing guilt. And if you don't understand what's happening inside you, you'll make a decision that costs you everything. Most people never understand this. They chase, they explain, they beg. And in doing so, they hand over the very thing that made them valuable, their self-respect. This video is not about getting people back. It's about getting yourself back. 7 powerful Stoic lessons that will completely rewire how you respond to silence, rejection, and being left behind. By the end of this, you will never react the same way again. This is why you keep suffering, but not anymore. Watch this. Before we begin, answer this honestly. Think about the last time someone ignored you or walked away without any warning. What was your very first reaction? Did you panic? Did you reach out immediately? Did you feel completely worthless? Because that reaction, whatever it was, tells you exactly where you stand. And this video will show you exactly where to go. Lesson 1. Your silence is your power. Imagine someone you deeply respect suddenly stops responding. No text back. No calls answered. Your first instinct is to fill that silence with words, explanations, and apologies. But here's what most people completely miss. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is information. The Stoics believed that the greatest power a person can possess is the power of restraint. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you hold power over your mind, not outside events. When someone ignores you and you respond with desperation, you are telling them your entire worth depends on their attention. And this is where everything goes wrong. Have you ever noticed how the moment you stop chasing, the whole dynamic shifts? Psychology calls this the scarcity principle. When you become unavailable, your perceived value rises. Your silence is not weakness. Your silence is power. Lesson 2. You cannot control others, only yourself. Here is a truth that will free you if you are brave enough to accept it. You cannot control whether someone stays. You cannot control whether someone chooses you. You can only control how you respond. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, was born into slavery. He had no control over his circumstances whatsoever, but he chose his response. And that single choice made him one of the most powerful thinkers in all of history. When someone walks away, your mind goes to war against itself. It tries to find what you did wrong. It tries to fix what cannot be fixed. But here's what most people never realize. Some departures are not your failure. They are someone else's limitation. Are you still trying to fix something that was never broken in you? Because this distinction changes absolutely everything. Lesson 3. Rejection is redirection. Think about every person who has ever left your life. Now think honestly about what came after. Did something better not follow? Did you not grow stronger in ways you never expected? The Stoics called this amor fati, love of fate, the belief that everything, even painful things, serves your highest self in ways you cannot yet see. When someone ignores you, your ego calls it a loss. But your soul, if you listen to it, knows it is a clearing. Psychology confirms this truth. When people reframe rejection as redirection, their self-worth actually grows over time. But here's what most people miss. You must stop grieving the door that closed long enough to see the one that just opened. Have you ever noticed this pattern in your own life? Because this realization changes everything about how you heal. Lesson 4. Detachment is not indifference, it is mastery. Most people confuse detachment with not caring. They believe if you don't chase, you don't love. If you don't beg, you never truly valued the person. This is one of the most dangerous lies ever told. Stoic detachment is not emotional numbness. It is emotional mastery. It means you can feel everything, the pain, the longing, the confusion, and still choose not to let it control your actions. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When you obsess over someone who has gone silent, you are not dealing with the actual pain. You are amplifying it 100 times inside your own mind. Have you ever realized the version of the situation living in your head is always worse than reality? That is your mind torturing you. Detachment is the door out. Lesson 5. Your reaction is your reputation. Here is something most people never talk about. The way you react when someone ignores you or walks away defines who you are, not just to them, but to yourself. Every time you send that desperate message at midnight, every time you explain yourself to someone who is not asking, every time you beg for attention from someone who chose distance, you are rewriting your own identity into something smaller than you truly are. And this is exactly where most people lose themselves permanently. The Stoics called this the reputation of the soul. It is how you see yourself when no one is watching. When you react with quiet dignity instead of visible desperation, you do not just protect your image, you rebuild your self-respect completely from the inside out. Who do you want to be right now? If you have made it this far, you are not like most people. Most viewers stop before this point. They absorb a few lessons and walk away thinking they understand. But the next 2 lessons are where real transformation actually begins. This is the part most people are simply not mentally ready to receive. This is where we stop analyzing pain and start mastering your entire identity from the ground up. Stay present, because what is coming next separates those who remain stuck forever from those who rise permanently and never look back. Lesson 6. The person who needs nothing has everything. There is a kind of person that is impossible to ignore. It is not the loudest person in the room. It is not the most desperate. It is the person who needs absolutely nothing from you. When you walk into a situation needing validation, approval, or someone to stay, you surrender your power before a single word is spoken. But when you arrive complete within yourself, something shifts in the air. People sense it, they feel it, and ironically, they are drawn toward it. Stoic philosophy calls this autarkia, deep inner self-sufficiency, the wholeness that comes not from others, but entirely from your own values and choices. Psychology confirms that emotionally secure people are consistently more respected and more desired. But here is the question that cuts through everything. Are you looking for yourself inside other people? Lesson 7. Use their absence as fuel. Here is the final and most powerful lesson. When someone walks away, most people sit inside that pain. They drown in it daily. They let it define their energy, their decisions, their entire future. But the Stoic understands something entirely different. Every absence is an invitation. An invitation to turn inward, to build, and to rise towards something greater. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while facing betrayal, deep loss, and constant rejection. He did not chase those who left him. He used every ounce of that energy to build something legendary instead. When someone ignores you today, your reaction is your choice alone. You can collapse into that silence, or you can use it as fuel to become someone they will never forget. Everything changes not when they return, but when you no longer need them to. You are not someone who was abandoned. You are someone who was selected for something far greater than what walked away. Every person who left you created space. Space for clarity. Space for real strength. Space for the version of you that does not need anyone's permission to exist. Think about how far you have already come. Think about every dark season you survived, that you once believed would destroy you completely. And you are still here, still watching, still growing. That is not ordinary. That is rare and powerful. The Stoics believed that a person who has mastered their own reactions has mastered the most powerful force in the entire universe, themselves. You do not need revenge. You do not need closure. You need one decision right now. Who are you going to become with the energy they returned to you when they left? Being ignored is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your transformation. The Stoics knew this truth, and now, so do you. You were not made to chase. You were made to build in silence and arrive in power. Drop the word rising in the comments right now if this video shifted something inside you today. If it helped, like this, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Anonymous Achiever, because your best self is still being forged.